Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is Rebel Galaxy. You've probably seen or heard a bit about this by now. It seems to be a very popular game at the moment. It's basically a space sim that features trading, combat, ship upgrades, a little bit of exploration, essentially the whole works. Now, I've been playing this for a while already. I'm not going to start right from the beginning or do any type of walkthrough on the play, but I'm going to show you a few of the missions here and let you know what I think of it. I've certainly been enjoying it, and depending on how it all goes, this may become a fairly regular series. Now, you can see here I've got my ship, a fairly large ship. It's got some turrets on top which seem to automatically aim towards a target, but the main weapons are the broadside cannons here, just like the frigates of old. These weapons can do significant damage, so basically it means you've got to come alongside your target ship in order to use them. There's also 4 shields on the ship, and these add a further layer of tactics to the game, as you've got to position your ship so that your strongest side faces your enemy. Now, as those shields weaken, you need to reposition your ship again in order to maintain your defences. I'm not doing a whole lot of damage to this guy here, because I've got very weak weapons. I've pretty much just got the starting weapons at the moment. So for this particular situation, I might look for another way of completing the mission. There are some other available options that you can sometimes use during combat. And I'm going to open up the menu here and try Hal. And this is the guy that I've been asked to kill by Sander.
Little Toad can't be paying you much. Look, this is going to go bad for you. Pay me 800 credits and I'll make myself scared.
So 800 credits isn't too bad. I've got 21,000 credits, as you can see on the top, and I believe the mission is paying significantly more than that. And there you go, the mission is complete already. So that was a lot easier than killing him, especially when I didn't need to, and the threat level there has dropped down too low. So some rather unusual structures around here as well. A big crystal there floated in space. Not sure where that would have come from, but interesting nonetheless. At any rate, into warp speed and back again to the station to hand that mission in. Now, one thing I do find a little bit disappointing about Rebel Galaxies, and that's just my personal taste I guess, it's that there's no Z-axis in the universe here, or in the galaxy. You can't fly up or down, you can simply go on this flat horizontal plane here, and that's pretty much it. Now, it works, there's no problem with it. It's just I like space to feel big and vast, and putting it on a flat surface here essentially makes it feel a little bit limited, at least for me. I guess everyone else's mileage may vary a little bit on that one. Here I am then back at the station, and we can head on inside and see if we can talk to the little alien dude there. Stations provide a whole bunch of services, from repairs to new ships to giving missions. We can also equip our ships in the equipment bay. This is Sander, the guy that gave me the mission to kill that pirate, and I guess I'll just tell him that I dealt with the guy. Now, I'm here because the character's aunt is missing, and she left behind some sort of strange alien artifact, and we hoped this guy would have some information about that, but he doesn't seem to be able to, or to be willing to provide information on that. He did send me on a runabout to get a mission so that he might tell me more information once I'd completed that mission, but, well, he seems reluctant still giving me the runaround, and in a minute he's probably going to send me to another location entirely, where maybe, perhaps, we can find some more information about that artifact. So rather than read all that dialogue out to you, that essentially is just a rundown of what he was going on about there, and it gives you a little bit of a backstory as well. I can have a look at the news board here, and that's telling me where there's a tech boom. Look, I can go and get some products from that location and probably buy them at a relatively low price. I can also hire a mercenary if I want. Right, an incoming Hal. What could that be then? Let's take a look. Oh, it's a strange alien. The one from the bar. So this guy has been helping me out a bit. He's got some information on my lost aunt, apparently. And the objective of the game so far is to try and locate his aunt. Yeah. So I actually let Sander get away, as we saw in the previous mission. Yes, well, you'll have to get used to that if you're planning on staying around this sector. That's not why we've contacted you, however. Have you got some new information for me? It's the Spectre I handed you. It so happens that I've thought of someone who may be able to give you some more information. a bit of a researcher, I suppose you'd say. A researcher like Sander is a businessman. Well, let's not quibble over titles. He's eccentric, let's leave it at that. At any rate, I'm sending the coordinates of the station where he keeps his lab. Yeah, I'll check that out. Let's go have a look. So is that what's highlighted there on the mission? Yeah. So that's the researcher. We're going to get back into warp speed again, or super cruise, or hyperspace, or whatever we want to call it. But we can't get there yet. Now, I'm not sure what I think of these lighting effects. Part of me really likes them. They're quite stylistic, but they could perhaps be considered to be a little bit overbaked. What do you reckon? All part of the charm, I guess, of Rebel Galaxy. Let's get into warp then. Now, again, another effect I do also quite like, but perhaps one that's a little bit overbaked. Very hard to try and film some nice footage here. I was going to piece together some nice videos, very similar to what I do with Elite Dangerous, but the sort of camera angles I get here with the graphical style of it makes that a little bit difficult. And it's a very different game, to be honest. Maybe like Elite Dangerous on speed, we could say. So, here's our destination coming up, and as we approach any targets or destination, we automatically drop out of warp as we get close enough. So, Yuko Station, that's where we should meet the guy in question. The guy, the alien, the girl. Visit lab. This is the person's lab.
I don't know you.
Looks like a robot.
I'm quite busy. Get out.
Hold it, you're a researcher Ozu was telling me about. You're going to tell me? I want to know, you pile of scrap. You're going to tell me what I want to know, you pile of scrap? Rather. Okay, I had to read that twice, that line. I don't know why.
I never had any respect for anyone's time. I'm Sal. I answer your questions.
Well, I was let you listen to the robot in his robot voice, but it's a little bit quiet, so I don't know how well you can hear it. But you can read what's on the screen, probably. He's telling me he'll leave if he answers. Perhaps I would leave if he answers my questions. Yeah, sure, I promise. It's about this Spectre device. We're hoping to be able to figure out what it is.
I've seen other artifacts like this before. Interesting. I'll need to take some time to analyze it. While I do so, you can perform
Another evidence. That's exactly what I was thinking. So it looks like in between parts of the story you're sent on various missions. He wants 3 tons of omnium ore. It's rare, but I know of a few places to source it.
You will require a tractor beam to complete my request. Come back.
Oh, so,
Yes.
you know, you could have given me a tractor beam, couldn't you? Let's have a look at the equipment bay. Components. Engines, booster, tractor beam, none installed. So, a tractor beam is 4,500 credits. I've got quite a bit of money. And we've now got a tractor beam, and we can go back and see Mr. Robot again.
I don't know you. What are you doing?
Oh, come on. We don't have to go through the same conversation, do we?
Yes, well, my research.
Yeah, let's hear about it. Here are the coordinates for a field that contain trace amounts of omnium and another set for a trade convoy that I know has material. It's up to you how you procure it. Well, I'm not going to go to the trade convoy unless I do. That'd be a bit more fun, wouldn't it, perhaps? Let's have a look what's out here. Maybe I will go to the trade convoy after all. So, which one are we going to go for then? The primary mission for omnium is for Zell. Traders very high risk as opposed to mining for Zell, also very high risk. Now, I've progressed through these missions slowly. I'm not very far into the game at all. This is probably the 3rd or 4th mission, maybe the 5th mission or something like that. And already it's telling me that the risk is very high. Now, I'm not sure if I'm meant to be doing side missions on the way. I may have done 1 or 2 previously. I've been playing probably for around about an hour or so now. Not a huge amount of time by any means.
Engines at maximum.
So I don't really know the context of these mission difficulty warnings. So here we are once again back in warp, flying past clusters of nebula there, or dust clouds, and they're very small for nebula actually because we're inside a system. And there we go, another dust cloud there, and this is the one I guess I'm supposed to be in. Yeah, we dropped out. I thought I was going to go past that there. And then you can see some god rays from the sun there scattering through the clouds, red dust clouds here.
Accelerating to sublight.
So we're approaching something that's very high risk. Maybe it's because there's a storm in here. I've been through one of these in the past, so I may be able to find some video clips to show you shortly where these sort of places actually have storms inside them. You see lightning, and the lightning can hit your ship and damage it. So the mining gunship is out of reach there. I'm not sure that whether or not I should be attacking it. Proximity alert. How's the business? I don't know. Why is this very high risk? Is it simply because of the mission structure? Perhaps the asteroid is going to start bouncing around and hit me. Come to a stop. Now what? I cannot see what I'm supposed to do here. Perhaps it's obvious. Got nebula exploration bonus. Nope, nothing reading over the side there. Oh, we're being bashed, and let's get away from the asteroid. I was just talking about it bashing me. What have I collected it? Have I?
Maximum.
Oh, okay, very strange. Let's go and get that one. Maybe I missed something there, a message or something. Perhaps he automatically collected the ore. Not always very observant, me. So looking here at the background of interstellar space here, we've hit something else. I'm just about to comment on the colours of space around here. Rather interesting colours. Reminds me a little bit of Homeworld. Come on, let's get out of here now. I can't go straight into warp yet, although I can now because of all the debris around here. When you get a little bit too close to proximity to something like that, it will drop you out of warp. Now, I'm not sure of what speed you're actually going in warp there, but I'd imagine it's superluminal. It has to be faster than light because of the rate at which we're moving. Anyway, once again on our way. Now I'm going to perhaps go around that cloud there because I don't want to drop off through from warp again. Okay, so after messing around here for a bit, trying to determine whether or not I actually need mining equipment, I actually found out that you can simply shoot at these asteroids here and eventually they explode, leaving some ore behind. Now if you do have the mining weapons or the mining equipment, you will get a high yield out of the asteroids. I'd imagine the mining tug over the background there is using the correct equipment, but nonetheless this seems to be doing the job. But it does take a bit of time. Thing is, I don't really want to travel all the way back to a space station just to get the relevant equipment for this mission, as I weren't really notified that I'd need that equipment before I started. I'm sure this is going to explode any minute now. Come on. There we go. There is some minerals. But how do we collect it? Hold the green button. Okay, so how many did he want?
Accelerating.
I can't remember how many he wanted, but let's go get some more. We possibly want the blue looking rocks. Hopefully then this is the last chunk of ore that we actually need and we should be good to go. Let's just pick that up and see what happens. Yeah, mission complete. Good, we're good to go. Now it looks like some pirates have just appeared. It seems they know exactly the right moment to turn up. I don't actually have good enough weapons or hull and shields to fight them though, so I'm going to try and get away before they get too close, but they're probably going to start shooting at me nonetheless. Or am I going to manage to get away? We're already under attack. Yeah, you could use some help, so could I. Now we know why the mission is high risk, because you get pirates coming after you once you've collected it. They seem to know as soon as I've got 3 tons that they need to come after me. But hopefully I'll be able to outrun them in warp. Now as far as I've seen already, the enemy ships do not chase you into warp. Once you can escape into warp, it seems you get left alone. which I guess is no bad thing. So essentially the game is structured in this way. You go from one mission to another, very much like you've seen me do here. I'm going to shoot past the... no, I'm not. I thought I was going to shoot past that there. One thing worth pointing out that I actually meant to mention at the beginning of the video is that the game actually plays out on a flat plane. There is no Z-axis, so you can't go up and down, which really does put some limitations on the way you can fly the ship. It's not something that's a big problem for this particular game, but you know, I do like the ability to be able to fly the ship how I want, and driving it around on a flat plane here feels very much like driving it around the surface of a planet or something like that. But it works, and a lot of people seem to be very happy with it. So the device is really quite unusual, and I've made some excellent progress. They call this a Spectre. Yes, it's apt, because I believe there is an intelligence contained within it. What sort of intelligence? We may never find out. It's only inert because of the lack of power which is theoretically capable of absorbing, but centuries of carbon accretion have prevented this. And? Well, I've removed the carbon, however the device has not reactivated. It may be nothing more than junk at this point. Thanks, I suppose. Please do not mention it. It's an interesting item, but I have wasted enough time. Excuse me. So, that's that mission done. I think then that comes close to wrapping this particular video up for now. I will be coming back to this game at a later point. It does seem to be very rapid pace. It's a nice change to some of the other slower paced games I make. It's engaging and you can make some pretty fast progress, and the areas are nice to boot as well. I'm going to look out at getting to some other systems later on. I'll be back with that at another time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time. Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to Path to Pleiades. We are now in stage 2 of the community goal to get a station inside the Pleiades Nebula. This stage features 2 individual community goals. One is combat orientated, the other is mining orientated. Before we get to the combat, I'll be heading out that way a little bit later. We are going to have a look at some of the mining here.